Hi, this is Jean Hart at Heartfire Radio Show. And tonight I want to do Donald Trump's chart for the next year. I want to give everybody an objective look at who he is and what he's about and what he's facing as far as his astrology goes. I have him for June 14th, 1946. So that was the year of the dog, and they're very loyal in Chinese astrology. And then I have him for 10:54 a.m. in Jamaica, New York. So if any of you great astrologers out there want to look at his chart and see some good stuff, then do it. The cool thing about his chart is I can follow it every moment of every day, just like the moon influences the tide, so it influences Donald Trump. The moon pulls on your tide because you're 90% water, and all day long you have tides that come in and go out. And literally, if you look at the chart is basically divided into 12 props or stages, and all the world is a stage. To be or not to be, that is the question. And we do know that Donald Trump is a great, great actor. And not only is he a great actor, he has a heart of gold. He has a Leo ascendant, just so you know, so he can be a drama king. He wants that attention. He loves to be the center of attention, as we all know well. But he also has Mars sitting right on his ascendant, so that tells me that he's very, very strong and he can take it. And that's why I have been just absolutely amazed at all the stuff that has been thrown at him continually, day in and day out. How does he do it? How does he take all that hatred? He's just like a rock. He's like an eagle. He doesn't let anything mess with him. And so I think he's got an amazing chart. Now what's really going to be amazing is that his progressed moon, and that's where when you're doing a future trend, I start. Because to me, a progressed moon shows the cycles that you're going to face for the next 2.5 years or so. That's about how long a progression lasts. He's 20 months into his progression of his moon in Leo, so literally his moon is sitting on his ascendant. And if you think he has been strong so far, you haven't seen anything yet. He has what I call a critical degree Leo ascendant, 29 degrees, and his moon is moving up, to be exact with that, over the course of the next 9 months. And as it gets closer, he gets stronger. He gets happier. His heart grows. You know, I've never seen a Leo without a heart. And not that he's a Leo, he's a Gemini, so he's got the gift of gab. But he has a Gemini sun in his 10th house, which means his career, his status, everything that he stands for in the realm of what he's trying to accomplish in his career is very important. And so he's cautious, and it's like a chess game that he's playing continually. He moves his pieces with intelligence, because his Mercury also is in the 11th house of Aquarius, which tells me he's incredibly smart. And the combination of these planets, you have a Leo ascendant, you have the sun in Gemini, an air sign, a mental sign, a gift of gab sign. Well, let me just say that a sun in Gemini in the 10th house means somebody who has the ability to say what he has on his mind and be incredibly disciplined about what he does release. So it's just hilarious to me that people get so upset about his lack of PC. He's doing that on purpose. It is a chess game for him. He has to distract all of us so that he can do his job, because again, he is continually under bombardment by secret enemies, by the media, because his progressed moon is in the 12th house side right now, has been since he took office. And the thing is the 12th house rules the television, the movies, and the movie stars. And who are the ones that pick on him the most? They're the people that are in that profession. Furthermore, he's got some secret enemies too that might be pretty powerful. But they attack him all the time, and it just bounces off of him. So I almost want to say, why bother? Why are you guys doing this? Because it's kind of a waste of time, because he's already prepared completely for taking on whatever's coming his way. And so he's got such a sense of humor. The Gemini, I've never met a Gemini that didn't have great one-liners and the ability to make you laugh. And because it's in harmony with his ascendant, that's probably why he can say, "You're fired," and people laugh. I don't know. I think in the realm of business, he is the chart of a president. He has a chart of a very successful businessman. And so I think in the sense that we choose our situation before we get here on planet Earth, we all have a mission, a unique mission that shows up in the chart. We all have a unique divine plan. And I think he chose to do this literally before he got here. I don't know if you ever saw that movie Defending Your Life with Meryl Streep and Albert Brooks, but oh my God, it is the funniest movie and it is so true. I think it was done in the 90s, but you ought to go watch it. And so before you get here, I think you stand before what's called the Lords of Karma. I call them that because you're down here balancing karma. Everything is karma, good karma, bad karma, whatever. And I think this is a schoolroom. So you stand before your God, the Lords of Karma, and you chart your course. The astrology is literally the course. And you decide who it is you want to act out your part with, where it is that you are weak, where you need to kind of get stronger. Now, if Donald Trump truly was General Patton in a past life, you got to remember that in that life he was also hated by the media, and he also had a pretty lippy situation going with the mouth, which was the perfect thing for him. He was also very devoted as a general. I believe him to have been General Patton to his God. And he was also incredibly patriotic, so patriotic that he did powerful things in World War II. So think about it. And I also believe that he could have been a reincarnation of Cyrus. Cyrus was in the Bible the guy that brought the nations together, because he's so good when he goes to some of these other nations and talks to them. It's like he's knows how to soothe the savage soul. Yet he'll come back and get behind the microphone and tell everyone to jump in the lake, while he's completely in the best chess game of his life and headed for a checkmate on every negative condition that would have anything to do with destroying his patriotic feelings for our United States of America. So I think he's got wisdom beyond our understanding, quite frankly. His natal moon is in Sag. He is a crusader for a cause. When he believes something, he is going to convert the world. So world, get ready to be converted. He's not going to take flack from anyone because Mars is on his ascendant. So I do believe that he shows astrology that says he's going to win the midterms. So we will see a red wave, not a blue wave. Although I like the color blue better. No, he's just, he's got game. He's got game in the sense that transiting Uranus, the planet of electricity and surprise, is trying his ascendant. His ascendant is how he presents himself to the world and what people see when they're looking at him. So all of this being said, on November 6th, that particular aspect is exact, and he has several other indicators, his moon and several other things that are suggesting that he's celebrating on the 7th and late the 6th. So he's seeing that the Republicans are winning. And all he wants, there's bad guys on the Republican side and there's bad guys in the Democratic side and even in the independent side. I'm not on anybody's side. I just want to go where I know I can trust what's, being done. And Donald Trump, I can totally trust. I have done tens of thousands of charts in my life. And if you want some history, on KCMO radio show with Mike Murphy many years ago when President Bush was running against Gore, everybody thought Gore had it in the bag. And I looked at Bush's chart and I saw that he was celebrating that night. And I thought, now, if he just lost the presidential election, why would he be celebrating? And so I predicted that he would win, and sure enough, he did. So I mean, it really, what most astrologers should be doing is looking at where the moon is at the time of the event, and thinking about what kind of mood that person is in those times. President Trump is in an exceptional mood on the day and the next day of the election. So that means he's got something leaning in his favor. And I do also believe, as I've done his chart completely into the future, I do believe he's going to win the next election that he runs for. So he will do 2 terms. And he's not going to be assassinated, or none of these conspiracy theory things are going to happen. And, it's like, come on, people, get real. He doesn't sometimes know who his enemy is. And so there can be people in his circle that can betray him or tell him things that aren't true. But the fact is he's got a good discernment. And all of us need to get discernment. When you can discern spirits and people, you got it. You can pass your test because you know what's coming at you, and you can make a good, healthy decision. So I do see a little bit of tiredness coming into his world, where he's just needs a rest, maybe on the week of November 11th. Saturn is squaring his Neptune, and that tends to lower our energy, not make us... He's probably just going to collapse, because if you think about it, right now he's got Uranus trying his ascendant. He's been hitting every single solitary city and doing these rallies, and that's got to be taxing on him. I've never seen a man work so hard. But that's what his chart shows. He's a hard-working man. He isn't just letting someone else do it. He's doing it himself. And so he's got that Einstein thing with Mercury in the 11th house. Some people think it might be kind of eccentric what he's doing, and Einstein used to get lost going home, but he did come up with, the law of relativity. And the same with Donald Trump. In the history books, I guarantee it will be said that he's one of the greatest presidents, if not the greatest president we have had, even up to now, next to George Washington, my hero. So, and I think, people should just start enjoying him, because he's going to be around for a while, and read between the lines. Feel his heart. What I want to say about his Trump's chart for the next year is that he's steady as he goes. His Saturn will be trying his midheaven through 2019, 2020. He may feel sometimes like there's a lot on his plate. He will still continue to take fire, at least for the next 9 months. In about 10 months, his progressed moon will move into the sign Virgo. Now, Virgo does rule soldiers, so it does kind of concern me that he may be facing decisions to make to protect our nation from war. But it could be that also that he's built the military up so strong that we don't have to worry about any attacks coming our way. But I do not see all these predictions that have been going on between so many people that are so negative happening. I see rather him just rolling up his sleeves and getting to work on what the situation is that's in his face. So I think the military definitely will be called to, stand guard, and they may have to do things like defend the border from foreigners that would try to come into our country illegally. I think it's a great idea to make a certain order in the way that new citizens are allowed to come into our country, so that we do have a high moral fiber continuing in the United States of America, and we keep the patriotic going. Another thing that he's going to have coming up the road is that in 2020, his Pluto's going to try in his midheaven. And that is the planet of game change. And when it makes that kind of an angle, it means that he's got control and the right kind of power in the realm of facing war. And so I feel safe, and I feel like the decisions he's going to make will make us safe. He still has secret enemies. He still has, just people trying to put him down. But, he's got Uranus sextile Mercury, which makes him a genius. And I'm not exaggerating. It sounds like I'm saying all these nice things about him, but he's got other things that he has to work on in his personality. Leos are usually territorial. If you step on or cross the line of a Leo, they'll roar really loud at you and scare the tar out of you, but usually their roar is bigger than their bite. So you see him roaring a lot, but really he's just a teddy bear, quite frankly. He's got Pluto in his 12th house, which means it's probably some of the things, the dark stuff that he's had to face and the evil that he's probably seen in the deep state of our government. And even as he was growing up throughout life, he has learned street fighting, you might say, with Pluto in the 12th house. Now, Pluto being in the 5th house means, everybody wants what he has, and they're willing to lie to the world about what it is that they want from him. For instance, all these girls that are coming out of the woodwork and saying, he had an affair with me, he did this, he did that. There's going to be that kind of stuff continue here and there. And sometimes, again, he may feel like he's working so hard and not getting in return those very things that he's giving to whatever it is that he touches. So I think his health looks good. I see nothing in his health except for maybe, he should get off a Diet Coke and any caffeinated products, because he's already caffeinated. He doesn't need it. And, that's about all I would say for his health. I don't see anything in his health that's a problem. What else do I want to find here? I'm looking. He's just got his act together. His, at the very beginning of 2019, I think there's going to be some authority figures and some shuffles, where people are going to try to block him in certain areas. And that will be from January 9th through February 27th, with February 1st being the peak week on that. But again, he's going to come back even stronger. And by June, his progressed moon will be in his first house of self-expression, which, literally, I think he'll probably start being a far more physical than he already is, working out, taking care of himself. And so he's able to tackle the projects that are put upon his plate, which will be a lot. Again, I see very clearly that he will win the 2020 election again. And so there's about a trillion other things I could say, but I don't want to bore you. I just want you to know that you can trust this president. And I don't care if you're a liberal, Democrat, I don't care what you are. What I do care about is that the truth be known, and that Donald Trump is a good guy, and he loves America, and he loves the American flag, and it shows in his chart, Crusader for a Cause, Moon in Sagittarius. And I think he was given pretty powerful mission, and not just anyone can do what he's doing. They think they can, but my goodness. All right, the future is supposed to bring to our world a great golden age. And I think you got to have the right honorable players in positions of power to bring in an age such as a golden age, an age where, everybody is telling the truth. Nobody fights anymore. Everybody's in harmony and at peace. And to get there, we have to stir up things. We have to stir up the darkness so we can see it. And the only way you can see it is if you let the light shine on it. So I heard that President Trump has studied the Mason teachings and the Rosicrucian teachings and theology and just about every single solitary truth in every religion that he could get his hands on. And what's really amazing to me is he can be open-minded to every religion that he sees. He doesn't put down anybody for their religion. He looks more to the action of the individual when he starts getting unpolitically correct, such as, whatever. Anyway, that being said, I hope you enjoyed listening to Donald Trump's chart on Heartfire Radio, and we'll see whose chart we can do tomorrow. You might email me at jeanhart.com if you want me to do a particular chart. I can do charts of nations, of individuals, of anybody. And we'll talk about subject matter in future shows that you want to hear about. So please tell me what you want me to talk about, where you want me to look. And I can cover the cornucopia of everything that we face in time and space. And if you want to book a personal astrology chart, text me at 406-599-3934. That's 406-599-3934, and let's do your chart. Again, thanks a lot for listening. Bye now.